This podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. Visit the Tech Podcast Network at www.techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's here. Welcome to Calcast, your Create International podcast. This is Gospel Gadget Podcast, episode 69. Welcome, listeners, to Gospel Gadget Podcast. We want to show you what God is doing in terms of using technology to spread the gospel message all over the world and especially cross-culturally towards unreached peoples. Greetings, Gospel Gadget Podcast listeners. We are excited to be bringing you a whole new series of episodes that relate to media for movements, very similar to what we've been talking about and sharing with you from God Network News. But in this series, we're going to be looking at the same people groups, the same movements, but looking at how technology and media are being used to enhance and spark and even accelerate movements. Someone contacted us about, maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and they know that we produce the prophet story, the animation that tells, the sort of shows the life of the prophets that that Muslims, also agree with, and venerate, and it shows the theme of the blood sacrifice theme throughout and leads to Jesus being God's sacrifice. It's very powerful. It's only 9-10 minutes long animation, but it's done specifically for Muslims. So it uses the language and things that they would be familiar with and comfortable. Anyway, we've done, I think,
only in English, right?
Well, no, we have it in 125 different languages already, but about 3 weeks ago, someone approached us and said, "Hey, have you ever put this into the Swahili language?" And we said, no one has asked us to do that, and it's not available. And they said, "Well, will you do it for us?" We said, "Okay." So we're already starting on that project we're doing now. So you could, when we have that finished, I can give that to you, and you can maybe make some use of that.
For sure. We need it.
It's a good thing to be able to put on phones because it's small, it's a small thing. It's not like a long movie. It's short where people can look just a few minutes and then you can discuss. You can use it for DBS, play a little bit and then let people discuss or whatever. And the other thing is if God ever leads you to get involved in what they call media to movements using social media, like Facebook campaigns, it works very well for that because you can take it and you can chop it up into small, short pieces of video, maybe only 2 minutes long, and you show that quick on your Facebook page for Muslims, and it's in their language, and maybe the whole page is in their language. And you use that and you get people interested and get them discussing and talking on Facebook. And then in a few days, you play another piece of it and you discuss that. And then it leads all the way up to Christ and his sacrifice. So it could be used, people are using it for that as well. So it has many different possible uses. Yeah. So I'll make sure that you get a copy.
Sacrifice, the name?
The name is The Prophet's. It's called The Prophet's Story. The Prophet's Story.
Okay.
I can actually give you the URL too in the chat here, so that you can actually. We have another one too, but it's not specifically made for Muslims.
Yeah, I have been used More Than Dreams.
Yeah, More Than Dreams is good, and we know the person that produced that. He's a friend of ours, but it's not really made specifically for Muslims.
Yeah,
but it's okay. I mean, actually, some of them are made for Muslims. I'm sorry, they are made for Turkish and But the problem with that one is at the
very straight to the point.
Yeah, and also at the very end of those videos, they have a pastor stand up behind a pulpit and starts to preach. That's good. That's good, because I contacted the people that produced it. I said, that's not a very good idea. Can we cut that off before? They said, oh, sure, no problem. Go ahead and cut it off. So we cut it off as well. I'm sending you the link where all of the different languages of the prophet story you can find. It's that one there. It's our in Digitube. It's on the chat. If you just click it, it'll take you to the page. And there's actually probably 5 pages, because there's all the different languages that it's in. So maybe there's some languages there you can utilize, but it would be great to get it in Swahili. We're going to do that, but also maybe in Yao.
Yao?
Because I'm not sure if it's in Yao. I don't think it's in Yao yet.
The Yao people in Mozambique and Malawi, they are very proud about their language. The Yao people. So then they speak Yao. If you talk to people, the Yao people, if they are in Mozambique side or Malawi side, they will talk to you, if you know, in Yao language. But the Yao people inside the Tanzania, because they are in Tanzania, Mozambique, and Malawi. So in Tanzania, they talk in Yao, but on day by day around because they are surrounded by different people groups, so then they use Swahili the most of the time.
All right, I see. I see.
But when they are among just in a Yao family, something like this, the father and the kids, they talk in Yao, of course.
You're listening to Gospel Gadget Podcast. Visit our website at godnetworknews.com.
And probably some in Mozambique speak Portuguese too.
Yeah.
Fala Portuguese.
Swahili can work very well for the Yao people. But anyway, if we have it in Yao, of course.
That would be good to do, because I just looked. It's not available in Yao language either. And it's a very good tool to, because of its length, because of what it's like. It doesn't show the prophets' faces and things like this, so it's quite good in that sense to be able to use it. So I'm working now on the Swahili one, but I think I need to do one for Yao, just so that I can provide that too also.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, the last time the last time that we chatted and I recorded you was 3 years ago in South Africa.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Long time.
The time goes quickly.
Yeah. I learned that in Brazil. Yeah. It
good.
It has. But at that time I asked you, do you folks ever use any kind of media in your work? And I remember you mentioned, we have used the Jesus film before a bit to kind of draw a crowd and talk to people and things like that. Since that time, have you used any other kind of media, or have you heard of people that are using media?
What I do, the More Than Dreams histories,
Yeah.
I have it for phones. I can put it in the phone of some people.
Yeah.
For example, when I go to some village, I take my computer with me. So then I prepare, I ask them their phone. So then I put inside their phone only more than dreams. Understand?
That's good.
So yeah, because we have in a format that is very small.
Right. Yeah, it's 3GP probably.
Yeah, for phone. Yes.
Yeah.
So then we put it in the phone of some people. But you know, the histories of More Than Dreams is very big. For example, there is one that is 46 minutes.
Yeah, long. Yeah.
So there is another one that there is 45. I think the smallest one is 25 or 26 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. It's shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the problem is because More Than Dreams histories, normally we have 5 histories.
Yeah.
Just one of them that is more for our context here in Africa.
Right. Yeah.
That is really that call attention of the people. There is the history of Mohammed. I think the history of Mohammed is a guy from somewhere, Nigeria, Western Africa, I think. So that one is very good for us here. When people from Africa, the Muslims from Africa, when they see that, it catch their attention.
Yeah.
So then there is another history. Is about one guy. His name is Khalil. Is a Arabic Egyptian guy from Egypt. Also, that one calls the attention very much because the guy is his background is really Arabic background.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So there is a history from one girl that is from Indonesia. People here doesn't.
They don't understand it too. Yeah.
Yes, understand. So then I haven't seen this one that you have produced, Prophets Stories. So, but you said that is a cartoon. So because it's a cartoon,
it is.
It can work for different cultures, different nations.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't show the face of anybody. The way it's done, the face is just a shadow, so you can't really see any face. The other thing is that we made some adjustments when we made some adjustments to the animation when we did it for Northern Africa. Those people groups, we got some complaints that people said, you know, when you're showing Abraham, sacrificing his son, Abraham is holding the knife wrong. And we said, what? And they said, yeah, you have his hand up like this, and the knife blade is coming out like this as he rises above his son. That's not right, because that makes Abraham look like a murderer.
Yeah.
And we says, oh, really? How would be the correct way to do it? And they said, oh, the correct way is you hold it this way. You hold it this way, and the knife blade coming out here, not coming out here, coming out here, and you just hold to the neck of the sheep so they don't see the blade. You see, when you're cutting. And we made that change, and the thing just went viral. Went viral up there. Yes. Another change we made, we had some people complaining in another place that we showed the cross at the end, right? Jesus on a cross like that.
Yes. Okay.
They said some people don't like that look. It's scary to them, or the cross is not a nice thing. So what we thought, well, wait a second. Jesus actually didn't die on that kind of a cross. He died. He was actually put on something shaped like a T.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a beam, and the beam was right here that he was hung on. And that's why some people say he was hung on a tree. The Bible talks about hung on a tree, much more like a tree than like the cross like this.
Yes.
So what we did is we made that change, and we made it look more historically accurate on like a T shape boom, took care of it like that. Went viral. The people said, "Oh, it's great. It's great now."
That is good.
So anyway, so the ones that we're producing now have those changes to them, and then changes to the script to make them make it more understandable and acceptable by Muslims.
That is good.
So
that is good too. When we can see some small things that you will change, that will make a big difference.
If you enjoyed this episode, please consider donating to help us continue to bring exciting stories fresh from the field. Visit our website at godnetworknews.com and select the PayPal link on the right side of the page, or consider becoming a Patreon partner to receive access to more valuable materials exclusive to our members.